Hey, how much is that 25 kil?
$25. You want it?
Yeah. Do I need to show my license or anything?
Nah, you don't need it.
Alright,
Here you go.
here's money. Thanks.
There. Thank you, John, for sharing that heartwarming story. Now we move on to the topic of carrying concealed handguns.
We will be looking at 4 different perspectives, globally, nationally, locally, and individually.
With these 4 perspectives, we will interview a variety of analysts and their take on this controversial issue.
We will first be interviewing Veronica, taking on the global perspective.
Hello, I'm here with U.S. Ambassador Veronica.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, Veronica. My first question for you is, how does carrying concealed handguns affect the world on a global scale?
Well, let me tell you this first. Throughout the nation and in many middle, elementary, and high schools, we have been having many shootings, and the reason they have been able to shoot is because they have been purchasing handguns, and it has been really easy for them because we haven't had any restrictions towards it. And because of an event that happened in Newton, Connecticut in December 2012, we have all talked about it, all of the other countries as well. And the other countries decided to restrict the laws of owning a handguns. And, well, we haven't really done much.
Do you think this affects global citizens as well, or is it just an American thing?
Yes, I think it does. I think it's more of an issue with regimes and militias rather than a prosaic citizen owning a weapon.
Thank you, Veronica.
Now we'll be moving on to Philip, taking on the national perspective on this controversial issue.
Well, thanks, Michael. I'm here to talk to you about, or the viewers, about this controversial issue from a national perspective. And I want to start off by telling you about the Second Amendment. In its entirety, it states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And as Americans, we believed in this right and think we're entitled to bear arms, which is true. But in today's society, we have events such as school shootings and just local interactions with ending in gun violence. And I think, me personally, that we should strengthen these gun laws because it is an issue which is affecting thousands, if not millions, of humans and individuals, not only the nation but globally. And I have some resources, such as the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence. They state, puts public at risk of being shot, injured, or potentially killed intentionally, or unintentionally. And from this, we can see that there are campaigns and organizations that want to not eradicate the Second Amendment, just strengthen it and limit to who is able to carry a concealed handgun. And I agree. To those who think that we should carry concealed handguns, or adults should carry concealed handguns, many citizens believe it is a recipe for disaster. That these guns could be carried into stadiums, colleges, college campuses, restaurants, and bars. And if you open up these areas to where guns could be carried, it's, as I said, a recipe for disaster, and it puts those at risk who are just bystanders wanting to eat, enjoy a game, or festivities like that. And President Obama once stated in 2008, I am not in favor of concealed weapons. I think that it creates a potential atmosphere where more innocent people could get shot in these altercations. And from this, I agree, because guns create violence, and it's that way. It doesn't create violence; it's a source of violence, and it just contributes to the fact that someone could easily be killed with the pull of a trigger. And carrying concealed handguns does not answer crime and decreasing crime. It contributes to it. And from statistics taken from the U.S. federal government, 70,000 people are injured from guns and 30,000 are killed from guns. And with these numbers, it's very clear that guns have a very detrimental effect to society in America. And so what is my takeaway is that we should strengthen gun laws and basically limit those who could carry a concealed handgun.
Thank you, Philip.
Now we will move on to weather, and when we come back, we'll finish talking about the rest of the two perspectives left for this controversial issue.
Thank you, Michael. Now, just looking at the weather outside, it seems like it's going to be a bit sunny with a 55% chance of cloudiness. And just give me a second. It's 55 degrees. Yeah, now back to you, Michael.
Thank you for that weather information. It seems like it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow, folks. Now we continue our coverage on this controversial issue of carrying concealed handguns.
Now on to Savannah taking on the local perspective on this controversial issue.
What is your take on this issue?
I think today is a terrible day. It's unbelievable how something like this could happen in such a small school. It's unbelievable.
With this issue being a problem with guns and the right to carry guns, what do you think the U.S. should do about carrying concealed handguns?
I think the government should have either a stricter policy on whether who should carry a handgun or take it away altogether.
And by this you mean like states should impose stricter laws or the federal?
Federal, because this happens in many states and many areas. It's a central issue in America, not just in one particular state.
So what do you think this issue here today will say to many Americans?
I think it'll just open their eyes more, adding in emphasis that guns lead to violence. Violence leads to death, and death is rapidly increasing each day, and guns are the main central issue on this cause.
And from a local perspective, do you think this law would be immediately imposed, or will it take society a matter of months or years to actually carry through with this law?
I hope that it would be quickly, but knowing that there are many individuals that are pro-gun, it might take a while, but hopefully this will open the government's eyes, and as well as other local school shootings, that this issue should be taken strictly.
Do you or anyone you know own a gun?
Yes.
And what do you think about that?
I tell them every day that why should they have a gun? There's no purpose for it. It leads to violence. It emphasizes how you take pride in violence, and violence is an issue that needs to be resolved, not to carry on more further.
So what would you say to the people who claim that increasing gun use decreases crime?
I think they're absurd, because guns influence not only individuals of a young age, but also others who are suicidal or have depression, and it could lead to various amounts of murders and crimes. It doesn't really decrease criminal activity. It actually increases
Thank you, Savannah, for your take on this issue from a local perspective.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Savannah.
Lastly, we will move on to the individual perspective, and on that, we will have Bryson.
Thank you. Now, what I'm here to talk about is the individual effect of the concealed gun. What we have today is that how many people have killed each other through concealed guns. For example, we have George Zimmerman, Moises Zambrana, Emmanuel Leboy, known as Emma Rivera. All these people have killed somebody who was innocent, had no purpose to do with them, no relation, through a concealed handgun. George Zimmerman, on February 26, 2012, self-appointed neighborhood watch Captain George Zimmerman, 28, shot and killed unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, just because he was in a hoodie in a concealed neighborhood. Moises Zambrana, on February 12, 2012, 48, accidentally discharged his handgun, resulting in the death of 20-year-old Hannah Cayley. The shooting occurred in Grace, Connecticut church in St. Petersburg, Florida. What I'm trying to say in overall conclusion is that concealed handguns have increased the violence in America and have increased the deaths and suicides due to having the ability to shoot yourself. In conclusion, what I'm saying is that we should strengthen the laws of concealed handguns. Thank you. Now back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Bryson. This ends our coverage on the controversial issue of carrying concealed handguns.
In conclusion, after hearing all the different perspectives, we come to a central claim that the U.S. should have a stricter policy when it comes to carrying concealed handguns.
We thank you for tuning in to Channel 9 News. I'm Michael,
I'm Lauren.
and good night.
Wait a minute, fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi.